is evidences from comparative anatomy. Comparative. We are comparing the anatomy of various organisms. And for example, the comparative study of four limbs of different vertebrates here, it shows the fundamental plan of similarity in this structure. What is the similarity here? They all have the basic plan of bones, humerus, okay, and radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal, and phalanges. This is a human hand, humerus, radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal, and phalanges. The same type of bones are present in all the vertebrates in their forelimbs and this similar structural plan. But all these are useful for different functions. So we are analyzing the relationship between the various animals, their forelimbs, and under homologous organ, analogous organ, vestigial organ, connective links one by one. Okay. First, we'll see about first one, evidences from comparative anatomy. I said similarities in the structure between the organisms. They are the indicators of relationship. So we'll study today about homologous organs means what, analogous organs, vestigial organs, connective links, atavism. Atavistic organs means what? All these shows the relationship. What is the basic structural similarities between the various vertebrates, but their function will be different or similar. We are going to see one by one. The first one is homologous organ. What are homologous organ? The structures which are similar in structural same structural pattern, similar in origin, and they possess similar structural pattern, but they perform different function. They perform different function. Here you can see the forelimbs of various organisms, various animal, human being, forelimbs means hands, okay, and shoulder girdle, okay, scapula, and humerus bone. This is called humerus, and yellow color radius, green color ulna, and this is called carpals, and this blue color is metacarpus, violet color is phalanges. Okay, humerus, radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal, phalanges. All these bones are present in similar in all the vertebrates, human, dog, horse, bat, birds, and seal or whale-like animals. But their function will be different. For us, it is very useful for picking the things, writing, and doing some other activities. For dog, for running, burrowing, for various animals. Bat, for it is modified wings. In bird also modified wings. In seal, it is useful as flippers for swimming. So they similar structural adaptation, similar structural pattern in the bones, but they perform different function. It's called homologous organs. Now, forelimbs of vertebrates, it exhibit similarity in the anatomy. So when we compare the anatomy or the structural bones, all are similar with each other. What are the bones? I say similar bones. Humerus, radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal, and phalanges. But they perform different functions. Similar in structure and origin, but perform different functions are called homologous structures that bring out, what is the evolution called? Divergent evolution. Now one more example I'll show to you. This is the bougainvillea plant. Okay, and this is the pea plant or Pisum sativa plant. So here you can see in bougainvillea plant the thorns it will arise. And the thorns of the bougainvillea plant, and here the tendrils. Okay, the tendrils of Pisum sativum or pea plant, and both are the modifications of the stem. Stem modifications only leads to the formation of thorns in bougainvillea plant and tendrils in the pea plant, Pisum sativa, modification of stem. But the functions are different. In bougainvillea plant, the thorns useful for defense mechanism. In tendrils, which is useful for support. Okay, climb on the support. For this, the tendrils are very useful. So same modification of stem, but they perform different function. As an example for homologous organ. Now coming to the second example is analogous structure. What are analogous structure? Organs having different structural pattern but similar function. Different structural pattern. So they possess structure is different but they perform same function. So அப்படி மாத்திருக்கு. Homologous சொன்னோம். Homologous means same structure but different function. Analogous என்ன சொல்றோம்? Different structure but similar same function. For example, the wings of birds and wings of insects. So this is the wings of birds and this is the wings of an insect like butterfly. Both are structurally they different. Okay, this is the bones will be here surrounded by feathers and here only membranous wings are there. But what is the function they perform? Both of them, they bring out the function of flight. Flying, for that they are helpful. So that brings out convergent evolution. Okay, homologous structure for divergent evolution, analogous structure for convergent evolution. So different structural pattern but similar function. So birds and insect wings are analogous. They serve the same function but different structure and different evolutionary origins. And one more example. Here you can see flippers of the dolphin. Here you can see the flippers of the dolphin and the wings of the penguin. Both are differ in their structure. Okay, but both are different in their structure but similar in function, helpful for swimming. So flippers of the dolphin and the wings of the penguin, they are similar in function but they differ in their structure. And here you can see this is a normal potato and sweet potato. And these are seen underground, we know. What is their function? They store the food material in the form of starch. Potato, sweet potato, underground, they store the food in the form of starch. Potato is a modified stem, where the sweet potato is a modified root. Okay, this is a modified stem, potato, and this is modified root. So analogous structures, they result in what evolution? Convergent evolution. So analogous structures, they result in convergent evolution. Right. Now coming to the next third one, vestigial organs or vestigial structures. First of all, what is the meaning for vestigial organs? Useless organs. They are commonly known as organs or structures that are of no use and not necessary for the survival of the individual. These are not needed for the survival, but we possess because such characters, such traits we have inherited from our forefathers or from the ancestors. We'll see some example. Human appendix, wisdom teeth, ear muscles, body hair, coccyx, and nictitating membrane. First, you'll see is the large intestine, and the anterior part of the large intestine, small finger-like projection called appendix is there. So what is this human appendix? Is a remnant part of cecum. Okay, it's a part of cecum and it is functional only in herbivorous animals like rabbit, cow, goat. It is very well developed appendix. But for us, it is very much reduced in size because cellulose digestion usually takes place in the cecum of the herbivorous animals. But we are not herbivorous. We are not depending on only we are not eating the food as such like herbivores. So the cecum in human being, it become functionless and reduced into the small finger-like projection called appendix. So cecum in herbivorous animals, it was very well developed, but for us it is very much rudimentary and small in size, functionless. So that's why we call it as vermiform appendix. So this is called vestigial appendix in the large intestine of human being, right? Okay, this part of the large intestine which possesses the small finger-like projection called human appendix. Okay, and other vestigial organs in human being, I'll explain to you. Nictitating membrane. You can see this region, nictitating membrane. In aquatic animals, the eye is protected by nictitating membrane and it is not needed for us. We are terrestrial. We are living on the land. So nictitating membrane is very much reduced here. okay, in human being. And wisdom teeth. So wisdom teeth at the back of mouth. Sometimes we call it as in Tamil Jnanapal. Okay, it will develop at the age of 16, 17, 18, and mainly meant for biting process. And this is also we have inherited from our forefathers. And ear muscles, very well developed ear muscles, we have inherited from other mammals, such characters. Man, the body had developed, and coccyx. This is called the coccyx or tail vertebra, and this is the vertebral column at the posterior region. You can see the caudal vertebra will be there or tail vertebra. Coccyx is present. All these are vestigial organ, which are, what is the meaning for vestigial organs? They are not useful, useless organ, no use to the possessor, no use to the possessor, but still it is present because these are functional in the ancestors but disappeared in course of evolution due to their non-utilization. Okay, so example I said human appendix, coccyx, ear muscle, nictitating membrane, wisdom teeth, body hair, everything. Now coming to the next one, connecting link. It is nothing but a transition stage from, it is connecting the characters of two different groups, two different phyla they are connecting. Three examples are given. First one is Peripatus, second one is Platypus, and third one is Archaeopteryx. Right? The first one we'll see about Peripatus. Peripatus, it possesses the characters of two different groups, Annelida and Arthropoda, two different phyla, and they possess both the characters of Annelida and Arthropoda. And platypus, it is a duck-billed platypus. You can see here, it is a duck-like beak it possesses. So avian as well as mammalian characters are present. So it is called as platypus. It's a duck-billed platypus. It's a connective link, okay, between the apes and mammals. And here you can see, what is this? Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx, it is nothing but connective link between the reptiles and apes. Having the connective link between reptiles and apes. So both the characters of reptiles and apes they possess, like that of the birds, they have the beak as well as the feathers. Like that of the reptiles, they possess claws in their toes, they possess that claws, and the tooth is present in the mouth. Okay, and a long tail is also present, like that of the reptiles. So, connective link is nothing but a transition stage. It possesses the characters of two different groups, Peripatus, Platypus, and Archaeopteryx. Okay, now the next one is atavism or atavistic organs. What is atavism? So it's nothing but sudden appearance of vestigial organs. So presence of tail in a human baby. You can see a small tail appeared in the human baby, newborn baby. Sudden appearance of vestigial organs in highly evolved organism. So the reappearance of ancestral characters. So first it was lost in most of the human being, the tail was lost. It is not inherited because from the monkeys, the apes, tailless monkeys like apes appeared. From the apes, the human being evolved that we'll study in human evolution. But this ancestral characters of presence of tail in a human baby is a very rare, and it is an example for atavism. Okay, and what is atavism? Sudden appearance of vestigial organs in highly evolved organism. It is reappearance of ancestral traits. After it is lost through evolutionary changes in various generations, it reappears once again. So that is called as atavistic organs. Yes.